Hello mountain riders, Wayne here from Mark Rides Maps, and today is the day that we're going to transform this nice street bike into something a little more worthy to take off-road. As it is, it's pretty well set up, but there are some things that I think we can improve, and we're going to add on some parts today and transform this machine into something a little more durable, so that I'm not breaking expensive factory parts and putting on some more robust aftermarket things. So let's get started. Okay, first things first. So I recently received as a gift this CRUZTOOLS ROADTECH toolkit for the BMW 1200, and I'm going to try to do as much of the work as can be done using just these tools. That way I'll know what I have in the toolkit and become familiar with it and know what things that I need to add on to address the aftermarket parts that I'm adding. So here's what we are working with. Electrical tape. Already have some of that. You'll see where that comes in later. We've got some Torx wrenches. Well, that's a pretty nice assortment of stuff there. Sockets, little ratchet wrench. All right, let's see how this goes. So the first job I want to tackle is a new skid plate, and we have the Black Dog skid plate here, which is supposed to be a fairly easy install. We will find out. Boy, that sucker's big, but that's why I got it, because the current one, the factory one, is fairly small and limited. It doesn't do a whole lot of protection towards the back of the bike where the exhaust and stuff are, and this one extends all the way back under there, protecting all that area. And that is some fairly robust construction, heavy gauge steel. That. So that is job one. We've got our hardware and our mounting brackets. Nice finish on this stuff. Looks good. And there we go. Looking pretty robust to me. Step one, let's get the old skid plate off. Let's see what we got down here. 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and there's the 5th one. And it says 5 bolts. This one has seen little more than a little dirt and mud. So let's get that sucker off. Little bit of dirt on these, so they're a little stiff coming out. So far so good. So this skid plate is a part which routinely comes on and off. You need to drop it to get at the oil plug to drain the engine and transmission oil. That one was kind of loose, so it's a good thing we got up under here. Ow. Okay. there goes the remaining stock hardware. Looking pretty naked up under here now. Okay, let's see. So you can see that is quite a lot more protection than was originally there. So that should make a pretty big difference. Okay, so next step is to put a little Loctite, blue Loctite, on the new bolts going in, and that'll do the job. And then let's see if we can get this front mount on and torqued down. Okay, back bolts in, and now the front ones. So here's the first real test of the toolkit. Black Dog sent a long Allen wrench or torque wrench to get these in there, and I'm wondering if our existing wrench out of our toolkit will do the job. So let's find out, and if it turns out it won't, I'll just replace the original toolkit one with the one from Black Dog. Okay, we want to make sure everything is going in nice and loose with no binding, which is good. We definitely don't want to cross strip something going into the engine casing. Okay, so now we are supposed to torque these bolts down to, I think it's 19 Newton meters, 13 foot-pounds. The problem is, there is no way to get a torque wrench up in here to do an exact measurement. So, we're just going to have to go by feel, judging on how hard it was to remove them, and try to approximate that. And to get some additional leverage, in my toolkit I have this nice little screwdriver tool. There we go. So that's going to give me the leverage I need to put a decent amount of torque on it. And if I come up short, let's hope the Loctite does its job. The next thing is put these protectors over the flapper valve cables. Well, that should just slip right on. Well, slipping those little slides over the flapper cables was a bit involved, but I got it in there. And now something challenging. We've got to get these hose clamps around the frame tubes, and they've got to be put on in just the right orientation. So I think it's time to break out some gloves. This is getting a little rough on the hands up in there. Getting these hose clamps to go back together is a little bit of a challenge, but when our handy toolkit screwdriver again comes into use, perfect size. And sometimes I found you need to just bend the tip of these bands once they come apart to get them to go back together, because they don't always want to get right up in there. And we'll see how this one goes. Maybe it'll work better. We'll see. So getting those hose clamps in position was probably the biggest challenge, and they secure the rear mount to the frame. Just kind of snug it up there. The frame does most of the work. And once the rear mount was on, man, it was just slip the 4 bolts in, and the skid plate is now mounted. And you can see it goes all the way back, covering the exhaust and protecting the whole underside. Much more coverage than was available before. So there we go. First improvement done. So the next thing we're going to look at is Ricochet Covers. So we've got a cover for either side and the mounting hardware. It's 3 clamps that hold each of them on, and then this is some double-sided foam that is going to provide some insulation between the metallic surface here and wherever it makes contact on the crash bar up here, so that there's no vibration. So the first thing we want to do is we want to fit these on here and see where they're going to make contact, and then you can see along the top there, and then a little bit down lower, and then we're going to cut foam to go there and provide some insulation. So that seems to be the areas where it's likely to make contact. So we'll put a little there, and now we need to get our clamps all lined up. Okay, so that was a pretty easy install. A little Loctite on the bolts and everything's right there and ready to go. Cool. So the next thing we're going to add on should be one of the easiest of them, and that's some soft panniers, soft luggage. The hard cases just get too beat up off-road. I've already got a dent in one of them, and this Bumot luggage is designed to just fit right onto my existing racks, so I can switch between soft and hard luggage in just a minute. Okay, there's one, and that one goes on this side. I can tell because the other one will have a little bend in it right there, because that's the exhaust side. In addition to being something that fits right on my existing luggage, it also key locks on with this nice little latch mechanism. So I can put them on and I don't have to worry about them being just taken off at night. That will be nice. A little more security. Let's see how they fit. Okay, so it's not as easy a swap as we thought, but it's just a matter, there's a little bracket that holds this reflector on down here. I think if we pull that off, it'll fit right on, so let's do that. Okay, there's one. Okay, let's get that other one on. So that's got the bottom of the bike pretty darn well protected now. So now I'm going to start working on a couple of the more fragile bits up top here, and let's upgrade some of that too while we still have some light. We don't have long, so got to work fast. The next thing I want to do is put a little more sturdy hand protection and lever protection here. The factory stuff is good, but it's a little flimsy, and I'm going to switch that out to the Barkbuster product, which is something that's been around for years and years, and this shouldn't be hard at all. First we take off the stock stuff. Okay, there's that guy. Let's take that and that spacer out there. Okay, spacer. Now we're talking. And let's see which bracket goes here. Is that the one? That looks... Let's try the other one to be sure. Angle's off a little on that one. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, that's the one. Okay. And it does not want to fit behind the brake caliper. Okay. What if we loosen it? Now it fits behind there. So now let's tighten the brake up a little bit. Again. Okay, plenty of room now. And for now, we're just going to leave this little mirror arm there, but I may remove that in the next step. We'll see. Okay, let's tighten up that caliper mirror bracket. There we go. That's solid as a rock. All right. So that's the bracket. Let's get the cover. Since I was looking for maximum protection, I've gone with the stormguard cover, which is, you can swap covers on these things, which is a nice thing. And this thing is big. It's going to block a lot of wind and give me a lot of protection when I'm out on the road. So I decided to go with the big one. And it should just screw right on here without any hitch. Get everything lined up. Good, good, good. And we have one little screw right down at the end here. There we go, good and snug. And then there's a little bracket on the inside as well. Let's put that on. There we go. Nice. Okay, and then we'll do the same on the other side to mount that one. And the last thing that I'm going to do today is these stock mirrors are fine, good mirrors, but they're awfully expensive to replace, and they do stick out there. So we're going to swap those out for some unbreakable Doubletake mirrors. So let's get that going. Okay, a couple of nuts. Should be a lock nut, keeping it from twisting off. There we go. Now the mirror should just twist off. Should. Okay, since I think we are taking all of this out, so let's see what happens here. Yeah. Aha. What this is going to let us do is remove not just the mirror, but that extra piece. So the Doubletake mirrors are just a ram ball mount system. So this should be pretty easy to do. This guy ought to screw right in there. Unfortunately, you need an adapter to fit the BMW, which is this big silver piece down here. Snug that down a little bit. And then here is the ram ball mount, which we will also snug down. Can we get in there? Looks like it. And I've used these on my other bike, my 650 dirt bike, and they work great. So this piece goes on there. And then okay, and there we go. voila, unbreakable mirror. And it's easily adjustable. You can move it around when you off-road. In fact, you can just fold it up out of the way if you're worried about the thing getting broke. The only thing I'm going to do is I don't like this kind of silver piece here. So we're just going to take some black electrical tape and cover that up to make everything look nice and uniform on the bike. I like that. So now we're going to go repeat the process on the other side. So that pretty much is all we're going to be able to see me doing today. The sun is about to go down behind the mountain, and so I'll finish this up. But that is, for now, what I think I need to get me riding a little bit more off-road. And so stay tuned for future episodes. I'll be doing just as much road riding and hopefully adding in some additional off-road riding for you to enjoy. See you soon.